Magnus was a signatory 5 years ago to an Are We Alone open letter urging a large-scale international effort to fund life in the universe. Magnus draws parallels between space and chess. Just like space, chess is infinite. In fact, there are more potential moves in chess than atoms in the universe. Okay. All right, so we have an article about the upcoming tournament. It's going to be starting on Saturday. We have the space-themed Magnus Carlsen Invitational returns. World chess champion Magnus Carlsen tops the field for the $220,000 Magnus Carlsen Invitational. The second edition of the event that launched professional online chess when the pandemic struck a year ago. Okay, I mean, not to be nitpicky or anything, but it's interesting to say that it launched professional online chess, considering that there were a couple other things that were going on before that on chess.com, like the Pro Chess League. So it's a little bit sketchy saying that. But anyway, whatever. Magnus will be joined by Hikaru Nakamura, Alireza Firouzja, Meltwater Champions Chess Tour leaders Wesley So and Timur Radjabov as the 16-player tournament starts on Saturday, March 13th. Breakthrough Initiatives and Breakthrough Junior Challenge are partnering with the event, which will celebrate the 60th anniversary of human space flight. Okay, so we have the lineup here. Let's keep going. The first Magnus Carlsen Invitational began on April 18, 2020 with a prize fund that was unprecedented for online chess. It came to a thrilling climax when Magnus beat Hikaru Nakamura in the final, a storyline that would feature throughout what became the $1 million Magnus Carlsen Chess Tour. The 2021 Meltwater Champions Chess Tour is built on that success with a prize fund of over $1.5 million, with the fourth event featuring another incredible field. The original plan was to have 12 players in the 3 major tournaments, but we've decided to expand to 16 to ensure maximum excitement in the preliminary stages, where 8 of the 16 players will be eliminated after 3 days. So they did change the formula. It was originally 12 players for the major events versus 16. Now they list the field. They list Magnus, Jan, Levon, Anish, Shakrar, Wesley, Timur. Actually, Shakrar is a new. I don't think Shakrar has played in any, has he? He might be a new player altogether. I can't recall him playing in any of the events. So I think Shakrar is I think this is the first time that he's played. That's the first thing that I think is actually notable. Because he hasn't played any of these tournaments. You know who else I was going to say hasn't played is Vladislav Artemiev, who won Title Tuesday today. He also hasn't played in any of these events either. Then you have Wesley So, you have Timur Radjabov. Alireza is back, despite I can't speak to this, but when we had Alireza on our show, when he was doing some commentary during the previous event, I think he said something like there were issues regarding the 37-page contract, and that's why he hadn't played in any of the events. So I don't know if that means he signed the contract or what exactly happened, but he is competing now. There's Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, Sergei Karyakin, myself, Daniil Dubov, Jordan Van Forest, a wild card who won Tata Steel, David Anton, who wins the popular vote again. So David Anton wins, and there are 2 qualifiers, which I think there's more on that in a second. So the lineup features 8 players who currently top the Meltwater Champions Chess Tour standings. They list all of us here, and then we keep going. They're joined by 4 wild cards invited by Magnus. Also, again, I would say this is actually wrong. I think this is worded wrongly. I don't think Magnus is involved in the day-to-day. So when they say they're joined by 4 wildcards invited by Magnus, what they should say is 4 wildcards who are invited by Chess24, because Magnus does not run the company or have any involvement in the day-to-day as far as I know. So I really think this is actually badly worded, because it makes it sound like Magnus just literally handpicked everybody, whereas he obviously did not. Azerbaijani number 1 Shakrar Mamedyarov, 17-year-old rising star Alireza Firouzja from Iran, former world championship challenger Sergei Karyakin from Russia, and 21-year-old Jordan Van Forest, fresh from a stunning victory in his home Dutch super tournament, the Tata Steel Chess Masters. We also have Dutch number 1 Anish Giri and reigning Spanish champion David Anton, who were voted back by Chess24 premium users. Now, one thing that I'm going to say that I find a little bit, disturbing about this, and if Chess24 is going to change this format on tournaments and do these sorts of things, I think they should change their formula for inviting people, or not inviting, but doing this voting, because it's very clear that based on the voting, the vast majority of the Chess24 premium users are clearly Spanish speakers, from around the world, and it's the second time David Anton has been voted in. So I actually do have a problem with this, because I think the fact that David Anton has now been gotten in twice by this vote shows that there's a problem with the system, and actually there should be some kind of they should find some other way of finding that spot, because if I mean, if David Anton is going to get voted in every time, there's also a poll, by the way, but if David Anton is going to get voted in every single time, I mean, then that's just not how it should work. Anish makes sense, of course, but David Anton has won the vote, I think, every single time now. So what is the vote? Who do you think should also play? Eric Hansen, Daniel Naroditsky, Hans Niemann, Sam Shankland, or Lenny Dominguez? I would have added there are a couple people who I think should, they probably won't because it promotes the premium version of Chess 24, I suppose, but again, I mean, but there should be no illusion that it's a fair vote at all, because it's very clear that the wherever the most premium users are, which they've shown a couple of times, they voted him in. Daniel wins with 70%. Yeah, I mean, I'll talk more about sort of my issue with this as well. But anyway, let's keep going. That leaves two places still undecided, but not for long. A qualifier sees Niels Grandelius from Sweden, Max Vornerdam from the Netherlands, Alain Pichot from Argentina, and Arjen Tari from Norway competing for two places and a guarantee of $5,000. So let's keep going. The qualifier at 1700 Central European time will be a double round robin at 10 minutes plus 5 seconds and move time control. If there's a tie for a place in the tour, there will be 2 5+3 games followed if necessary by Armageddon. So here you have it. Jan Gustafsson and Laurent Fresnay will commentate on the action, which you can follow on Chess 24. The Magnus Carlsen Invitational format. The Magnus Carlsen Invitational will be starting on Saturday and runs for 9 days with a 3-day preliminary stage followed by a 6-day knockout. So here you have it again, March 13th, 14th, 15th, 5 games every day, same format as the last tournament, and we keep going. As in previous tour events, all games are played on the new Chess 24 play zone with a time control of 15 minutes per player for all moves, plus a 10-second increment per move from move 1. In the preliminary stage, each player faces each other player once, with the bottom 8 then eliminated. It's going to be a cutthroat battle with many of the top players fighting for 8 spots. It also matters where you finish with first place, and so far Magnus Carlsen has topped the preliminary stage in all 3 Meltwater Chess Champion Tour events, worth 20 points for this major. Okay, so I think they've maybe changed the format a little bit, but I will be honest, at the end of the day, none of us are really worried about where we finish in the preliminaries. Actually, they changed this. This was not part of it. They changed this. Again, I would say these changes on the fly really kind of disturb me a little bit, because it's like they're changing all these little things. There were no points before, but it's like now what they're doing is they're saying, okay, so if you're top 8, we're gonna, we're basically gonna punish you if you make a draw to finish in the top 8 versus trying to win a game and risk finishing in second or 10th, for example. So I really don't think this is necessary, and I really don't like it. It feels like a way of trying. Well, it shouldn't be that way, because if you're in the preliminary, no, they're trying to incentivize is trying to say that people don't want to finish in the top 8, but then change the format altogether and just have it be a winner take all out of 15 games rather than having a qualification. Because if you have a qualification where the top 8 make it, there should be no purpose to the points. If you look at hockey, for example, I'll use hockey as the best example because it has the most parity. But if you look at it's been like this, they definitely have not advertised this before. Maybe it has been, but it was the same. Are we so sure about that? They definitely did not advertise it before. But the point that I was going to say with parity is, if you look at hockey and you're in the playoffs, there's no incentive, the incentive for finishing first. Say you finish first in the playoff standings, you play the 8th seed. The only incentive you get is that you get home court advantage. It's not. This is like saying, okay, well, you know what? If you finish first during the regular season, well, you know what, you should actually get like a 2-0 lead to start the series versus 0-0 and having home, the home advantage. So I am playing this, but I do think it's to me it's a little bit dubious. But again, maybe it's been like this. I don't think it has been. But anyway, let's keep going. The knockout stage again sees the players compete in 2 4-game matches over 2 days, with a playoff featuring 2 5+3 blitz games and potentially Armageddon if the match score is tied at 1-1 on the second day. The winner of the knockout will earn $60,000 in a guaranteed place in the $300,000 final of the tour planned for the Meltwater headquarters in San Francisco this September. So again, you see the prize. I guess they added more money because they changed the format of the players. It was $200 for the last major, and now it's $220. So I think they additionally added $5K for the bottom 4. Levon is playing, yeah. Okay, Magnus Carlsen Invitational partners with Breakthrough Initiatives and Breakthrough Junior Challenge. The Magnus Carlsen Invitational comes almost exactly 60 years after Yuri Gagarin became the first man in space on April 12, 1961. There will be a space exploration theme to the tournament to tie in with the Breakthrough Prize Foundation, which since 2012 has been awarding $3 million in prizes for major advances in mathematics, fundamental physics, and life sciences. Okay, I mean, it's something. The Breakthrough Prize Foundation was founded by tech investors and philanthropists Yuri and Julia Milner, with Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg and Google founder Sergey Brin among the backers. The foundation supports breakthrough initiatives, which aims to ask fundamental questions about our place in the universe, and the Breakthrough Junior Challenge, where young people are awarded for their ability to explain scientific theories in short videos. Okay, maybe I'm crazy, but isn't 3 million very low? Or does it, because like if I think about math, aren't there like these $1 million problems, right? There are these $1 million problems. They're like 7, right? So you have these $1 million prizes that are given out, and I know that's separate of this, but if you have millions for every single one of those math problems, and there's only 3 million in 9 years, doesn't that seem kind of low? I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I'm not saying $1 million puzzles can be solved, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, to me, I don't know, it seems a little bit odd based on the funders, the people who are backing it. Anyway, let's keep going. 2 of them have been solved. Yes, the PMP has not been solved. Magnus Carlsen, who's met and even played chess with many of the top names in Silicon Valley, commented, "The Breakthrough Prize Foundation is simply a great nonprofit. I've been involved with the Breakthrough initiatives from the start, and I'm always curious and fascinated by their efforts in exploring life in the universe. With this partnership, I hope the best chess players in the world can come together and bring more awareness to the Breakthrough Junior Challenge, which inspires students from around the world to explore their favorite scientific theories." Okay, all right. I don't know what this is all about. Like, this is like a total, like, let me just flex, like, to no end, basically. But let's keep going. Julia Milner comments, Magnus, with his incredible mind and accomplishments, is an inspiration not only to chess players but to millions of young people with curiosity about deep ideas. We hope that his support for the Breakthrough Junior Challenges will also inspire them to take part this year. Magnus was a signatory 5 years ago to an Are We Alone open letter urging a large-scale international effort to fund life in the universe. Magnus draws parallels between space and chess. Just like space, chess is infinite. In fact, there are more potential moves in chess than atoms in the universe. Okay. All right. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, I think I'm going to end there because the best show around. I don't need to read this stuff. We know where the best show is. So we don't need to read, I think, the rest of the article. But yeah, it's going to be a fun event, and it will be starting on March 13th. There will be coverage on my channel, as always. Levy and Anna will be on. We'll probably be doing more charity fundraising as well during the event. So it's going to be fun. It's coming up on Saturday, March 13th, and it's good.